Hello, my beautiful people. Well, today I thought I'd, since everybody's asleep and I finally have time to make a video, to go with the first video of the lovely What's It Like series. And, sorry about the camera doing this thing. I don't know what the hell it's doing. But anyway, and today, the first, subject of that will be what's it like to be a caregiver. And I just say, my mom, officially made me a caregiver. Made me her caregiver. I think about a year ago now. It happened right when my lovely excuse for, or my unfortunate excuse for a stepfather decided that, well, since my mother was not, you know, doing the things he thought a woman should do, considering the fact she has, disc degenerative disease and, can't really do very much to begin with. Yeah, anyway, so it's been about maybe a year and a half, something like that. Now I've learned quite a bit being a caregiver. Quite a bit. For one, you do not exist to the government. Case in point, my mother finally decided to report to Social Security because she finally got Social Security maybe a month or two after he left. And finally got the papers, the divorce papers, everything. Found out he bought a car. Wonderful how he decided to go ahead and take that retirement of his that he said that, she didn't deserve and buy a car even though he couldn't fix the one he had, which was mine that I just had to sell, you know, last week. So I wonder how long that's going to last. But anyway, like I said, she finally decided to report, the divorce settlement, and Social Security seems to, yeah, that was the first experience of being a caregiver with the government, that I've had with the government. Since I'm the caregiver, I keep track of a lot of stuff because I keep track of meds. When she's taking her meds, when she needs the meds, I go out and buy the meds. I try to keep track of all of her doctor's appointments. I mean, as a caregiver, me by myself, as a caregiver, I keep track of a lot of shit. Well, like I said, she decided to go ahead and report to Social Security that, she got this money, and we spent like almost all of it. We had nothing left. And it was, she should have got more, but she only got 20,000. And that's when we, she bought a new vehicle because, my brother and, his wife decided that since, mother had money that we needed a new vehicle and get rid of mine. So instantly I started losing shit again. But the vehicle we got is actually quite nice, to be honest. I mean, it's a 2008 version of what I had. So it is quite nice. I do like it, even though it's not technically mine. Um, so we got, car. She thought that, I deserved a PlayStation 4, so we got a PlayStation 4 for me, and that's when I started using it for, streaming with Twitch and all that. And so, I mean, so we got a lot of stuff. Made sure we had like next to nothing left. And then when we reported, we had all the receipts that now we might have missed a couple, to be honest. We might have missed a couple, but we got a majority of them, like 98% of them, or something like that. And so we go up there, go do the whole deal, and all of a sudden they're asking mother questions that she doesn't necessarily know, but voila, I do. So I'm trying to keep track of everything. And this woman proceeds to tell me, oh, well, I need to hear it from her. I'm like, yeah, but I'm the caregiver. Oh, well, we don't recognize you. See, that's the first instance of how the government will treat you if you happen to be a caregiver watching this. That you do not exist. The only reason why Social Security will take you seriously is if they're taking or giving money to you. And I mean, that's the sad truth. Uh, Speaking of getting money, you know as a caregiver, I've been told by numerous people, numerous, my fiance, my fiance's brother, uh, people in the gas station here in town, and the office where the housing authority I live in, which that's going to be another video all by itself. What's it like to be in a low income housing? But the office here, everybody instantly asked, "Well, isn't Social Security giving you money for being a caregiver?" And I have to literally straight up say, "No." Now, mother called Social Security, Medicaid, all the freaking people that people are saying that could take care of me getting some money for being a caregiver. Now, granted, I am not asking for a huge amount. I'm not asking to be paid more than my mother. I'm not asking for any of that. But when you get told that by all these people that you should be getting money from Social Security because you're a caregiver, and all of a sudden then Social Security says, "Oh no, we don't got the program for that." Medicaid, Medicare, all the people that my mother called about being a caregiver said that we don't got a program for that. Yeah, so that's something else I've learned. Now, something else that on top of that, the Oklahoma Department of Human Services. Now, we were told, because we were trying to fight with them about me being a caregiver, and the caseworker she had before she got the current one she has now, told us, well, actually told, because what happens is when it deals with Social Security or DHS or something like that, I actually hand the phone to my mother, and if there's something that she doesn't know, then I'll tell her, well, this and that and everything else. Because that was back when back when before she even made me caregiver. Because it was like the first month or so, I was the unofficial caregiver, so like no one wanted to talk to me at all. And so I would have to keep track, and I was actually keeping track of a lot more stuff then too, but now it's like I'm keeping track of literally everything the best I can. But anyway, we get told that I'm made caregiver by the Department of Human Services here in Oklahoma. Well, that was not entirely true, because when we got wind that she was going to get another caseworker, we went through the whole process of me being told that I had to come up with this and that and everything else, like proof of income. The minute my mother said something about that I was a independent contractor, which I still am. I'm slowly deciding if I want to. Oh, sorry about that. I'm slowly deciding that if I want to keep on doing that or not, because that's the only real legal form. Well, crypto mining is another legal form, but that's the only legal form that I got that like I get like an actual record of how much and all this other stuff and blah blah. So I am a freelance IT guy, and my mom, finally got to the new caseworker and told them that I was a independent contractor, which is what a freelance IT guy is. Freelancer is an independent contractor. Um, and the minute she said that, they said, "Oh, well, we need proof of income from him." So I'm thinking, "Oh shit." And this is, of course, after I make a video of us trying to get a hold of this new caseworker. And we finally, after the video, we finally get the phone call and all this other stuff. So then I'm like, well, how am I going to do this? So I finally find an email address because, I get an email back after making the YouTube video. It's in the Opens Letter playlist, but after I made that video, I finally get, calls and emails and all that stuff. And then I realized that one of the email addresses was to the new caseworker. So I went ahead and I decided, why don't I just put all my invoices and I can't remember what else it was. It was something that deals with, how much money was coming in and coming out. And so I included all that. And they took it, even though the last caseworker said, or it's like the second to the last caseworker said that was no good. They wouldn't accept that. Now, after I give this new caseworker all of this lovely information that I actually keep records on, the only records I keep, they dropped me from the food stamps but kept her. That's when we realized that I was not labeled as a caregiver. I was labeled as a representative. So even the Oklahoma Department of Human Services will not acknowledge me as a caregiver. I guess they want to save that money too, huh? But anyway, so that's the third thing that I learned as a caregiver for about a year and a half. And I'm still a caregiver. Right now, I'm making sure that, she's, let's see, where is it? That, she's in there, she's in her room, and my job as a caregiver is to, make sure she's squared away, that she gets her meds, she takes her meds, that she goes to her doctor's appointment. I actually drive her, because she can't drive. Even though she has a driver's license, she can't drive. So I drive her to all of her doctor's appointments. I go out to the grocery store and buy clothes, or not clothes. It'd be kind of cool if I did, but to buy, food. I'm it. If she needs it, like food or meds or anything like that, I go out and get it. But yet, I am not recognized as a caregiver or person or anything by the means of this lovely government that we have in the United States. I mean, so that means the food automatically makes it to the house all by itself. That means the meds that she gets automatically makes it to the house. I mean, she can't even go to the mailbox. And since she can't go to the mailbox, how in the hell is she supposed to get the meds? I mean, now food, it wouldn't be a problem for food, except for the lovely governments deciding to take away funds for, was it Meals on Wheels? And see, I thought about, Meals on Wheels. Make sure she gets food. That's the job of the caregiver. The job of the caregiver is to make sure the person you're caring for, it doesn't matter if it's your mother, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, it doesn't matter who it is. You need to make sure, as a caregiver, that they get their meds, that they take their meds. Matter of fact, I am keeping track of so much stuff that on my phone, I have it set, alarm set for every time she needs to take her meds. And she takes meds 4 times a day. So every 6 hours, 4 hours, something like that my phone is going off to remind me, to remind her, because I'm keeping track of a lot of shit. I mean, right now, I live on low-income housing. We are due for an inspection in 15, 16, 17, in about 3 days. So I gotta keep track of keeping this house clean. So we could actually have a place to stay, because HUD wants you to have a inspection ready, or as it's been known to be called, make ready. It has to stay as a make ready. Otherwise, the housing authority you live in loses funds. Of course, then again, HUD's been taking funds away from housing authorities in Oklahoma for quite a while now and screwing us residents over. So much so that, we got stuff wrong with this unit that I flat out just got tired of reporting because they don't have the funds here to fix it all. So, and they got too much stuff to keep track anyway, to keep HUD happy, which then goes down to the tenants, and the tenants got to do stuff to make sure that the housing authority's happy. So whenever the housing authority's happy, HUD's happy. Now, for those of us that are caregivers, we have to maintain, the house. And if you're like me, you got stuff that you can't do anything with because the person you're giving care to doesn't want to get rid of some stuff. And it kind of sucks. And so, as a caregiver, you have to apologize for the house the way it is. If it's messy, dirty, it doesn't matter. If it's a disaster area, you have to apologize for it, not the person that you're caring for. It's like your job as a caregiver. I mean, you're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter if you're asleep, or you're awake. You're still working. And so you have to, of course you have to get some sleep. And I'm lucky to maybe get anywhere from 4 to 8 hours if I'm lucky. Because I'm, awake 20 hours a day, making sure, my mother's squared away. For food and I bring in the mail. I do pretty much everything. And according to the government, I do not exist. So, no, it's not fair. And no, the government don't care. The only reason why they'd care about you as a caregiver is if they're giving you money or they're taking money from you, period. Otherwise, you do not exist. And they will find ways to make it where they will not give you money at all. Seriously. Even if they give you money, you still have to pay taxes on that. Because it's money. And the government wants some of it back. That's how they do it. They tax people. And I read a couple of interesting facts about taxes and how they work. Oddly enough, I was doing this reading while I was attempting to get my bachelor's degree, which I had to stop because, you know, as a caregiver, you can't get a degree because you have to concentrate solely on taking care of the person you're giving care to. That's it. In the story, that's it. I mean, if you start, so us caregivers, as family full-time caregivers, we can't get married, we can't have kids, there's a lot of stuff we cannot do because it will keep us from doing our job as a caregiver. This thing with YouTube and my thing with Twitch, that's the only things that are keeping me sane. It's only keeping me here because, I mean, you can't really drink. You can't drink alcohol. Because for one, it's kind of expensive, and for two, you know, it has a tendency to make shit worse. That's another thing. You will be constantly paged non-stop. Now, there are times that what will happen is, you know, when your person you're caring for goes to sleep, that time is for you. That's the only you time that you get. So right now, since, you know, my mother happens to be asleep, this is the only me time that I get. And I'm using it to make a video so I can hopefully entertain you enough that maybe, I mean, you know, if you so feel wonderfully inclined to donate or whatever. Mine, so, I mean, so yeah, this is my only other form of making any kind of money, is making YouTube videos, making, you know, Twitch, but they're not my job. My job is caregiver for, you know, mother there. That's my job. And that's the job that, and I'll keep on saying this non-stop, you do not exist in the world as a caregiver, according to the government. And you as a caregiver will learn that very quickly. Now, anyway, I know it's kind of a long video, and but I don't actually time these videos. I just go on a subject, like I did today, and if it happens to go long, it goes long. If it happens to go short, it goes short. And I mean, but like I said, I'm only hoping to be, you know, entertaining enough for you to want to do something. And if you don't want to do anything, then so be it. And like I said before, this YouTube and Twitch are the only things I got that keep me sane. Otherwise, I would probably go insane. And matter of fact, I actually got bored the last 3 days watching YouTube, watching TV, playing PlayStation 4. You know, you will get burned out real quick after a while being a caregiver, because that's how it works. You get burned out. But anyway, I do appreciate you watching. For those that watched, I do apologize for the camera, because my phone does actually gets overheated after so long. And so hopefully not for too long. Actually, you know, I hope before too long that I actually get a, you know, webcam, so I can at least get more of a consistent kind of frame rate and stuff like that. But right now, it's just really hard. because when you get treated the way if you get treated like this, where to the point where you feel like you do not exist, because you really don't. You don't exist as a caregiver in this lovely government we live in. Mind you, I said government, not world. Because I'm pretty sure other places in the world, they might not pay you, but I'm sure they'll be more willing to be helpful, to give you services for, like, having somebody else take care of the person you're caring for while you have a little vacation. Because, matter of fact, I was told by Social Security that they literally cannot do anything by the means of a caregiver until my mother's 65. They can't do anything other than say, oh, well, we can't do anything until she's 65. I mean, seriously? She has to be 65 before she can get any help for being from a caregiver? Does that mean she has to be 65 before they'll even pay me as a caregiver? Is that how it freaking works? I'm doing all this work for, nothing right now. I mean, really? What is the point of Social Security anyway? Because all I see these articles, news articles, and all this other stuff about thinking that all these other agencies are getting their money from the Social Security. They're taking the money from Social Security and sticking it somewhere else. So what the fuck is Social Security for anyway? I mean, hell, it took my mother 3 years, I think, 6 years, something like that. And they won't even give her a disability. It's not even disability she's getting from Social Security. It's Social Security supplement income. It's not the disability part. It's the regular part. And she's got disc degenerative disease, which means she can't stand up for real long, and she's had surgery and all this other stuff, but yet they expect her to work all these normal jobs. I mean, seriously? All these normal jobs without any accommodations? Just so otherwise she's screwed? I don't know. I mean, it's bad enough that that the government showed how they treat caregivers. The state of Oklahoma has even shown me how they treat caregivers. I mean, caregivers are the ones that are keeping people alive and doing shit that no one else wants to do. I mean, I'm sure that if I was an immigrant from, say, China, if I was some refugee or immigrant from China, hell, the government would jump right on that and fucking pay me. But since I am a U.S. citizen that was actually born in this lovely, wonderful United States, I am getting fucked over in the ass. Just because because I happen to be the responsible son to take care of my mother because nobody else wants to. Everybody else has their own fucking lives. And yet I'm having to sacrifice mine to make sure my mother is even, getting anything. I mean, seriously. She worked as a correctional officer. She worked in a freaking, what was it? Goodwill Temporary Services. And she had, Oh shit! I remember the last one she had with Goodwill Temporary Services. It was some retirement thing. I can't remember what it was. But she put in information about straight deaths, firefighters, pension, and retirement. I think that's what it was. So she was doing data entry. She was doing all this other stuff. She did so much stuff between, oh shit, from now, actually no, it was from maybe 10, 20 years ago until now. She worked. But apparently that didn't count for Social Security. Because hell, they were taking money away, but yet, I mean, where did it go? Was she not entitled to that? She worked, she dumped money in Social Security, but she couldn't get any out of it. So she had to use a group to get Social Security. She had to use a lawyer, which, you know, the lawyer said, well, screw you, because, well, we can't find it and do this because the Social Security is saying, oh, well, this is not good. So she had to use an advocacy group to get Social Security. Really? I mean, come on. She even worked longer than I have, and she didn't. She had to fight 6 years to get Social Security. And then the minute she reports, you know, the minute that she gets a divorce and she reports that, you know, she's got a divorce and getting a divorce settlement, you want to take a full month's worth of shit, you know, a whole month worth back because you deemed that she got too damn much. Come on, Social Security, get your act together. Anyway, that's pretty much what it's like to be a caregiver. You do not exist, and expect places like Social Security, like Medicaid, and every other government place to treat you like shit because you do not exist now. Matter of fact, you're a figment of their imagination. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you actually made it to the end. If not, well, I do sincerely apologize. This just happened to be a subject that I had a lot of, you know, learned a lot of stuff since I actually became a caregiver, and apparently not a good enough caregiver because hell, the government doesn't want nothing, you know, to do with you if you're a caregiver. So I do appreciate you for watching. And the next video, I don't know what it'll be about on this series of What's It Like. So we're just going to play it by ear. And we'll keep on doing that. Now, like I said, this is not going to be an everyday deal. It's not going to be a weekly deal. It's not going to be a monthly deal. This is going to be a series like everything else I try to do on YouTube when I have time for it. If I don't have time for it, then I'll just have to do it the next day and the next day. You know, I'll just have to do it. Wait until I do have time for it. Wait until I do have time to make videos. And matter of fact, I might even stream a little bit today. And it might be, you know, Destiny or whatever. But I do appreciate you guys watching. Those that do watch, and those that don't, well, I appreciate you for at least looking at Thumbtag, I guess. So anyway, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.